Black people, one of the most prominent ethnic groups across the globe, have a profound and deeply rooted history, even reflected within the sacred pages of the Holy Scriptures. Interestingly, the Bible references the origins of African people, including their powerful kings and queens blessed with melanin. In today's video, we will explore fascinating insights about the biblical ancestors of Black and African peoples. Don't forget to leave your like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more content. The Holy Scriptures teach that all people today are descendants of Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. This lineage also includes Black people and other dark-skinned ethnic groups whose ancestry traces back to Ham, one of Noah's sons. Ham was the brother of Shem and Japheth, who represent different groups. Shem for the Semitic peoples, such as Arabs, Jews, and Syrians, and Japheth for the European and Asian populations. The term Hamites originally referred to those who descended from Ham, according to biblical teachings. In the book of Genesis, it is written that after the great flood, Noah and his three sons were entrusted with the task of continuing the lineage of Adam and all humanity. With only 8 people, Noah, his wife, their 3 sons, and their 3 daughters-in-law, the human race had to begin again. Ham, one of Noah's sons, is specifically identified in the Bible as the forefather of African and Black peoples. His name is closely tied to Africa, and the Book of Psalms even acknowledges him as the ancestor of the ancient Egyptians. It is fascinating to observe that in antiquity, rabbinical traditions, ancient Jewish tales, and other historical narratives consistently recognized Ham as the ancestor of African peoples. Additionally, all interpretations of Ham's descendants align with African nations and regions populated by African peoples. Interestingly, the name Ham in Hebrew, Aramaic, and other ancient languages translates to burned or dark, a direct reference to the skin tone of his descendants. In chapter 10 of the book of Genesis, between verses 6 and 14, we find more details about the lineage of Ham, also referred to as the Hamite peoples. The text introduces Ham's descendants, including Cush, the forefather of various African nations, and Mizraim, the ancestor of the ancient Egyptians. Notably, Arabs, Jews, Syrians, and other groups refer to Egypt as Mizraim, in honor of its originator. Ham's other sons include Put, also known as Phut, and Canaan, who is the ancestor of the Canaanites, a group distinct from the African peoples. It's important to understand that Canaan represents a separate region and people. The sons of Cush include Havilah, Sabta, Sabteka, Rama, Sheba, and Nimrod. Nimrod, in particular, was notable for his reign, which began with the city of Babel, among others within his territory. He is recognized as an ancestor of the native peoples of ancient Babylon and the Sumerians. Later, Nimrod traveled to Assyria, where he established 2 or 3 cities. Meanwhile, Mizraim, another of Ham's descendants, was the forefather of the Ludites, a North African group. The Ludites include the Anamites, Lehabites, Naphtuhites, Pathrusites, and Casluhites, from whom the Philistines and Caphtorites descended. Mizraim, Ham's firstborn son, became the ancestor of many nations, including the Ethiopian people. All Ethiopians are descended from Cush, as are the people of Nubia, which was known in ancient times as the Kingdom of Cush. These are some of the main nations that trace their origins to Cush, the eldest son of Ham. However, they are not limited to Cush and Nubia, but also include the Kingdom of Cush, the Kingdom of Nubia, and the ancient Sumerians. Nimrod, the rebellious son of Cush, is widely regarded as the forefather of the Sumerian people. Additionally, the people of South India, including the native populations of the region, are believed to be descendants of Cush, just like many other African groups, such as Malians, Eritreans, Kenyans, Congolese, and Bantus from Gabon. The term Kush is frequently linked to Ethiopia, Sudan, and Africa in the Bible, and its literal meaning is Ethiopia or black. Cush was also the father of Phut and Mizraim. Mizraim is recognized as the ancestor of the ancient Egyptians and numerous North African peoples, including the Berbers and the dark-skinned Tuareg. It is intriguing to note that all Semitic peoples, including the Arameans, Arabs, and Israelites, refer to Egypt as Mizraim. This designation appears in various ancient languages, such as Aramaic, Arabic, and Hebrew. In fact, in the book of Psalms, chapter 78, verse 51, it states, "He smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the first fruits of manhood in the tents of Ham." In addition to Mizraim, Ham had another son named Put or Phut. An interesting fact is that the name Put or Phut comes from a word meaning landmark, which refers to tribal hunters in Africa. Put is regarded as the forefather of the native black Libyans in Libya, as well as several other African peoples. Now, regarding the famous curse of Ham, or the curse of Canaan, many in antiquity misunderstood the curse described in the book of Genesis, chapter 9. The passage explains that after Noah became drunk, Ham failed to assist him and instead informed his brothers that their father was naked and intoxicated, seemingly mocking him. However, there are multiple interpretations of this text, though it's not the central focus of this video. Noah directed the curse not at Ham, but at one of his sons, specifically Canaan. It might seem like an overreaction from Noah, but during that time, the relationship of respect toward one's father was considered almost sacred. Although Noah was seemingly at fault for becoming drunk, interpretations of this story suggest that his intoxication was accidental. Growing grapes, something never done before, led Noah to accidentally discover wine and, unknowingly, become drunk. This is likely why God chose not to punish him. It is important to note that Ham and his other three sons, Cush, Mizraim, and Put, are ancestors of African peoples. It's essential to highlight that black people were not the ones cursed. Rather, it was Canaan, the father of the Canaanites who lived in the Middle East. He was the one who received Noah's curse, not the African peoples. Therefore, it is crucial to clarify that interpreting the biblical text as if African peoples were cursed is a serious mistake and a false interpretation. The curse specifically applies to Canaan, the ancestor of the Canaanite peoples. We know that Ham is considered the ancestor of all African and South Indian peoples, and he lived an exceptionally long life. Born before the flood, Ham experienced a significantly extended lifespan, allowing him to witness even the fifth and sixth generations of his descendants. Interestingly, just as Shem is said to have lived approximately 600 years, it is believed that Ham reached a similar age or even longer. Although the Bible does not specify exactly how old he was, it is assumed that he lived to be around 600 years old, much like his brother. The exact location of Ham's tomb remains unknown, but various theories and studies suggest it could be in the Ethiopian region or perhaps in Nubia. Some argue that Ham may have been buried in Mesopotamia, in the land of the Sumerians. However, many scholars agree that Ham's tomb is likely located in Africa, specifically in Sudan or Ethiopia. There are even suggestions that he could be buried in Egypt, which is especially intriguing given Egypt's abundance of mysteries and the constant discovery of ancient burials dating back 3,000 or 4,000 years. The Book of Jubilee offers additional details about Ham's old age and provides insights into events surrounding Noah's family and the three lineages: the lineage of Ham, the lineage of Shem, and the lineage of Japheth. This ancient Jewish manuscript, regarded as authentic during the time of Christ and even earlier, reveals that Ham strongly disapproved of his youngest son, Canaan's decision to settle in the land of Shem, which we now know as Israel. Ham disagreed with his son Canaan's decision to claim those lands for himself. The Book of Jubilees recounts that Cush and Mizraim, Canaan's brothers, along with their father Ham, were against Canaan's choice to settle in the land of Shem, the region we now know as Israel. Like Ham, they expressed their disapproval of Canaan's actions. They confronted Canaan and instructed him to leave that land, as they believed African lands were meant for the descendants of Ham. However, Canaan defied their wishes and remained in that land, completely disregarding the will of his father and brothers Mizraim and Cush. The Book of Jubilees also tells us that Ham was the founder of the first city and the first province after the flood. He named the city in honor of his beloved wife, Male Tamlock. Thank you to everyone who has watched until now. Please make sure to leave a like. It's very important. Share the video so others can watch it as well, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you soon.